All right, everybody, welcome back to another week of SCSRA Live. Tonight, we're actually joined by Devin and Eddie, so we got both of them tonight. Hang on, let me fix Devin's camera. We're going to try this again.
Let's try it again.
Devin?
Yeah, I don't care.
Ease.
Eddie? We got everybody? We're really?
With you.
God damn it, Eddie. You son of a... Such a nice person. So lovely. Anyways, welcome back another week, guys. Season 6 is over. So we're going to talk to the winners tonight. Conveniently, it's both of the people that are on tonight.
Rigged.
Yeah. I'm sure some people think that.
Only in America.
Okay. So Eddie won the truck race. Good job, Eddie. Congrats on the championship as well. And then Dev won the next gen race as well. So damn good races. Unfortunately, I don't have the truck race replay, but I can pull up the broadcast. I'm going to just watch this last little bit of that because it was a hell of a race.
Yeah, I think we were split last season because this was the first season where we doubled down the entire season for the races. So last year's truck championship was at Phoenix, and it was a little spread out because of a weirdly timed caution. But I thought it was good racing. Super technical track. I think it's a fitting track where you're gonna have to really bust your butt to get it done because it is so technical. And I don't know if it was as big a surprise for you guys, which I'm sure it was because I know we practiced together, but everyone else, it's going from the truck, being able to attack the corners to jumping into the next gen. Literally like the times of the races, it was night and day.
Oh yeah, a whole different animal.
But I have zero complaints about Phoenix as a championship race. I think it's cool to cycle that out with Vegas next year. I don't recall other tracks. I know we've done Homestead. I'm excited to see, maybe at this time next year for what we're thinking for a championship track next season, if we want to go back to one of these two or try something different. But I don't think there's any complaints about the racing this week. I don't know if you guys heard anything, but it seemed pretty lights out.
I like the trucks a lot better than I like the next gens during the day.
I had so many laps in the next gen. And then from the truck race the night before, jumped back in that practice, and it was so different. I just couldn't get back to that. I wish I could have though, because I was flying in practice.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It's a big wrench now that we, because for each race we have the same temperature, but that dynamic weather, whatever you call it, I think is really just going to be a curveball going forward for everyone, because you can practice one thing and then we're not even getting close to that next, or whether it's not even 3 degrees, 2 degrees in qualifying, the lap times, it's definitely a big curveball. I mean, it's throwing a big wrench in things. I don't think it's a bad thing because everyone's got the same weather, but it definitely.
I don't know. I kind of would disagree with that a little bit. I mean, if you're going to spend the time to practice and run 300-400 laps at a place, and you're going to go to the track knowing that it's not going to feel the same, be the same, then you're really not encouraging people to practice. So.
No, I get that.
I don't know.
The dynamic weather came out a month ago. It definitely threw it was more than we expected. There's been goods and there's been some I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Because it is
everybody waiting for clouds.
It is such a curveball. I'm just curious in real life if 2 minutes of real time cloud cover throws off the track to be tenths faster. You know what I mean?
I'd say it probably does.
Yeah.
So if you're sitting in the stands and those clouds come over, man, you feel that shade for those couple seconds, and it's got to do something to it.
I just go back to our gateway race where the last 5 laps were cloud cover and times were half a second faster. I know you don't see that in real life. So, I mean, I do appreciate the integration that iRacing's rolling out, but I just don't know if it's too extreme for real life. Like, obviously, we'll have no way of knowing that. I mean, I'm sure we could find something on Reddit or something, but it is so much quicker for even a degree of track temperature. It's pretty crazy out there, man.
Well, I don't think that iRacing is going to implement it because they're they have real life testers that,
Yeah.
and drivers that come in and test this, and they have staff employees that are, or they have staff beta testers and stuff that test this stuff for it to be as real as possible. So if it's doing that in sim, I can almost guarantee it does it in real life. So
Makes sense.
you know, it's kind of it is a drastic difference, but I would imagine that that's pretty close to real life.
Yeah.
I mean, they do that in F1.
Yeah.
They'll sit there and they'll wait till the track is at the optimal position or optimal time for them to go out for a qualifying lap. So I imagine it's pretty much the same.
Yeah. I would have to agree with you there.
Yeah.
Because I don't watch any F1, so I'll just smile and nod.
You should. It's awesome. Well, it
Okay,
can be.
Josh has told me I should just start the Netflix, get caught up on that, and then.
I never
proceed.
watched the series.
Really?
I didn't
That's
watch.
how a lot of people got started.
It is, yes. I didn't watch this last season after the first like 3 races because it was just Red Bull the whole time. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I find that kind of boring where it's just one team dominates.
Well, that's how it even took off in the sports cards, like cards.
Yeah.
Dev sports cards. That's how it took off. Is so many people within the hobby, like NASCAR is the cheapest sport in cards. Like you could take the star from football, and his best cards are $1,000, and in NASCAR you can get them for $100 or $50. It's just there's no love for it in the hobby card wise, which is cool because I like collecting that side of it. But these people in the hobby, I mean, F1 came out and they got caught up on the docu series, whatever you call it, and Max Verstappen, his rookie cards, like 101s, the only ones that exist, they sell for 6 figures. It's just it's crazy, man. Like I don't even know who would be the NASCAR equivalent, but if you took their same card, say Kyle Larson, maybe whatever. I mean, I don't know a NASCAR card that would sell over $1,000. That's not a Dale Earnhardt autograph. You know what I mean? It's just F1 took off. Man.
Let's see if this Netflix show brings more popularity back to NASCAR.
Tuesday. I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it. I'm interested.
We're taking a break from what we're watching now. I'm like, Tuesday, we're watching something new. Give me 2 days, we'll be done it. I promise. I love it. I enjoyed the little Bubba one they did, but I think it's going to be cool that it's more in depth. If it's the same idea, I think it's cool to get behind the scenes. They did one on what was it, USA a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So that was really neat. But it's Junior said it was good, and he said Denny Hamlin doesn't know how to cook, so I guess championships and cooking go hand in hand for Denny Hamlin. So
if you eat his food, you'll choke. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Gotcha.
So Eddie, we're watching here. You got 4 laps left. You got Aspinall breathing down your neck. Going around Joe here. Talk us through the race, man. How did it go for you? What did it take to prepare for this? Just kind of run us through this, man, because this is a nail biter here at the end.
Yeah, just a lot of patience. From racing with him in other places, I know how he races. I mean, I'm expecting all of that right there. And it's for a championship. I've been raced way worse than that this season in this league by others that I shall not name. But yeah, you know, you race me with respect, you're going to get respect. You don't, then, it is what it is. You race me how you want to be raced by me. And if you want to bump and bang and carry on, then I'm here for it. And if you want to try to pass clean and run to the line, I'm here for it too. But when you've seen a particular driver run out of gas on the last lap at Pocono or something like that, and then they cut down in front of the whole field and wreck everybody else, knowing what they're doing, yeah, bro, for a championship, I block my mama. Especially block somebody that's going to do that to somebody else. So yeah, bro, the last few laps there, I think I got it on strategy. Had a pretty quick truck. Just seemed to be like, once I got up to a certain spot, I couldn't like gain any more spots because I done wore the good off, and it was just one of those log lap kind of things. Got a pit stop, and I think that's how I ended up there, and just held on to it, man. I knew once I had the track position, it'd be pretty good. I'd have a shot. And then I knew they'd have to pit, which they did, and put them behind. Um, and then, man, I was just trying not to overheat my stuff within like the last 20 laps. Just riding behind Joe right there, kind of using him as a pace car. Try to calm myself down. That way I didn't overdrive the car and,
Yeah.
heat them back tires or the right front or whatever up and then just give it away like that. I know he tried taking us 3 wide, bro, and we already seen how that failed that night. Or, I mean, we've seen how it failed in the league. I don't know if it was 100% that night. I know it happened, the next night for sure.
Definitely
Um,
happened next night.
yeah. So, yeah, 3 wide at Phoenix probably isn't the smartest idea. Um, I'm not just going to let you take me 3 wide into a corner and again for a championship. No, ain't happening, bro. Ain't happening, Captain. Um, so yeah, bro, just hung behind Joe right there and watched the relative. Tried to keep him. He was like between point 0.3 and point 0.4, 0.5 back. Whenever he got to point 0.3 and was kind of holding it, I told Joe, I was like, "Yo, bro, I have got to go. Don't hold me up, bro. Like, I've got to go." And I thought he was pretty respectful. Knowing it was between me and him, and then you know having the demon inside him trying to win the race, then it sucks for him. Um, Still come home P3, so I'm proud of him for that. Um, but yeah, bro, things could have got really crazy up there. I'm glad they didn't. So yeah, man, that was it. We got the truck team championship for Team Neon.
We did. No, we did. Back to back years. Back to back to back.
Oh yeah,
Neon swept in the last 3 years.
Yeah, I
3
got the last
seasons,
2
I
truck
should say.
championships, and then Eddie got the truck championship this year. And I have to double check the team championships. I think YXU might have gotten one in between, or maybe it was Xfinity. But yeah, no, just a big testament to this week because
What? I know there was
it was a long.
I know there was a lot of practice. Eddie and I put in a lot of laps in this week.
Well, I think it's just the overall this season. This was a really long season. I mean, when was week 1? September. You know what I mean? Because we had so many off weeks. Like next season, it's what?
yeah, it was a landmine of holidays and stuff, man. Right
Yeah,
there, just
man.
blah blah blah.
Like this season, it's 16 races, 17 or 16 weeks with speed weeks in the All-Star week, All-Star race, and 0 breaks. So season 7 is going to be 4 months. Boom, every week 4 months. This one was starts September, ends. We're not even done until February with the All-Star race. You know what I mean? Or January 30th, whatever it is.
Yeah, it was a long season.
So I mean, it was a lot of work that goes into it, man. This was aside from our 20 race season in season 1. This is probably the longest season we've had because there were so many breaks.
Yeah.
But
yeah, there was a lot of breaks, man. I hate the off weeks. I'm ready to go back at it right now. Like,
yeah.
let's go.
Well, we still got the All-Star race, Eddie, so you got one more week to finish out this season.
That would do.
What went into this week, Eddie? I know that, like I said, we had practiced a lot. I know we practiced probably more next gen than we did trucks, and none of that translates over. But what it went into this week to get you up front?
I was more focused on the next gen side. So before the session even opened, I think I had 296 laps, according to that thing. So VRS, but 296 laps in there. I had 112 in the trucks. Quite a few laps, man. A lot of changing things, a lot of feeling things out and seeing how what I wanted to go with, what felt best for me, and my driving style and stuff. So it's a lot that went into it.
Yeah, it was a good race to be a part of. Unfortunately, I didn't have a great race, but I wasn't really in it for anything other than just to be there. I know. Yeah, caution first started. Hopefully this season I can actually be present more this week or this season, but we'll see what happens. Got a lot of other things.
We've been doing a good job practicing, though. I feel like we've learned a lot. Even that one Homestead week when Eddie got his stuff back, I don't know. We kind of feed off each other, and even if I think you can look at Kansas too, something that you guys are like, yeah, there's no way. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you guys bounce stuff off me for the Homestead race, and then I feel like I bounced something off you at Kansas, and then I was crying inside trying to figure out Phoenix. But like we all come together. We really are feeding off each other. Like if one guy's, because us three practice a lot, 9 times out of 10, Hartney's practicing one thing, Eddie's practicing one thing, and I'm practicing another, and then we get, we just diverge the information at the end, and I think it works. I think there's, if you look at the numbers and the performance that we've had just since Eddie got his PC back from Homestead, I think there's a direct correlation to that. So,
Bro, I was driving Wounded Duck all season, man.
yeah, man.
Just to be there at the end to have a chance, I was pretty fortunate.
Yeah.
So Eddie, you're not a fan of racing?
Jesus, no.
I know that.
Oh,
you're not
sorry.
a fan of racing on monitors?
No,
Not at all.
nope. There's no spatial awareness on a monitor for me. I've raced on the VR for so long, man. I just can't do it.
Fair.
It's tough. I mean, if I was forced to, like if my VR was like, I decided to quit working, then I'd kind of have to. So,
Right.
I would definitely have to run a ton more laps to even feel halfway good about it.
Yep. So on to next gen. Devin came away with the win and the championship for next gens. Brief race recap. We had a caution right at the beginning of the race. Entry of Dogleg on lap 1. Junior spun. And caused
Joe may have Babe Ruth that one, but that's
yeah. Joe called it out.
sorry, Junior. Love you, Junior. But Joe did call that.
Yeah, and then we had the
Pulling
stage.
off pit road, Junior, lap 1, Dogleg, watch out. And then you see Teal just fly through your rearview mirror. It's Junior.
Joe's like, told you.
Yeah, that was.
I think D was crying. He needed to come on a pit road just to wipe his eyes.
Yeah.
He was laughing so hard.
And then from there we had the stage, and then it kind of just trickled on from there. We're gonna go on board with Devin for the last 15-20 laps because that was the most exciting here.
Yeah, and if anybody's watching, you haven't checked out the broadcast, definitely go check them out on Intensity Broadcasting.
I'll need a flag cleared there too, Harvey.
Yeah, Guy brought some great energy at the end of this one.
Yeah, and Josh brought some pretty good energy at the end of that truck race too. So I mean, they were both great calls at the end. And
look at that, we got a little sneak peek at the season 7 scheme as well. Thank you, Eddie.
Yeah, buddy.
So restart here. Kind of run us through this, Devin. This is the last 20 laps or so.
Yeah, so it's kind of, there's definitely a big factor before that. We use this race. It was a big learning race, kind of like that's my logic for the next gen series is learn a lot in stage 1. I mean, don't get me wrong. Do I want to sit on every pole and go out and lead every lap? Yes, I do. But it's just still trying to find that balance of being fast early and having tires at the end. And this is one race where I know Eddie got by me early. I didn't expect to have the long run speed that I had, but car really came to, and stage was at the end of lap 40. We'd closed on Michael there to maybe half a car length, and then came down pit road for the stage. I looped it on pit road, which is absolutely asinine. I don't know how that even happened, but I got too greedy. So then we restarted 6. So just like in stage 1, once we got to second to chase down Michael, we were 2 seconds behind. After the stage restarted 6, and by the time we got to second, it was like 1.7 seconds behind. But, with about 65 to go, we made our last pit stop, and we came in on the same lap. And I think I came out maybe 7/10 behind him, or like 1.1 seconds, something like that. So I knew we had a little bit better long run speed, and this was my first real chance to, not have to play catch up for this run. And we got to him around lap 140. We were beating him primarily out of 4. So we took him inside, and went through 1 and 2 fine, got to 3 and 4, and I was on the inside again, and you guys can attest to it. I know in the past I can be a jackass if I wanted to, and I have been in the past. I get that, but I feel like I've really calmed down as of late because there's just so many respectful drivers in this league. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna you wouldn't put it on my door. I'm not gonna put it on your door. But yeah, we were chasing him for 140 laps. We got to the inside. He put it on my door, and I let the car wash up, man. I let my car, turn off of his door. And it's not just a one race thing, man. I don't like racing like that. But I'm going to race you how you would race me and did race me. If you're not going to give an inch, then I'm going to try and take 6 from you. That's like how it has to be around certain people. Because I could tell you on 2-3 hands people that I'm not going to race like that. And regardless of what you may say, I wouldn't race anyone like that unless they raced me like that. And people wouldn't race me like that if I didn't race them like that. And people don't race me like that. So there's one denominator that kind of sticks out as to why I'm racing people like that. And it's just a respect thing. I don't care if people say it's a game or a sim. We spend a lot of time doing this. And if you're not going to show it to me, I don't see any reason to show it to you. So we got by him. He tried making a dive bomb move into 1 that didn't stick, spun himself, and then we're going to see here on this restart. Gets into my quarter on the restart. For what reason, couldn't tell you, and then loops it again. Yeah, and I could go on forever about it, but there's no point. We get it. But it's just kind of pot, meat, kettle sort of situation. Did I want to drive side by side for 20 laps in battle for a championship that way? Yes. Was that going to possibly happen and me have the room to be able to race like that? No. And it's just, like I said, I can count on multiple hands people that are going to give me that space so we can battle like that. I mean, look at me and Eddie last year. And I know we're teammates, but take that out of the equation. How many times, going side by side into turns at Indy, Michigan, Charlotte, Richmond, I could literally just keep going. And I'm ranting now, but we just had really good long run speed. That's kind of how we've set it up in most of our races this season, aside from the random Darlington where we launched off quick. We've just try to hit our marks, man. Take care of our stuff, hit our marks, and instead of going attacking the other drivers, have them come to us a little bit, and we're able to do that. We'll see on this restart here coming up, but it's just it was a good season for us, man. And speaking on the trucks, the league's at a really strong level of competition, and I know you guys practice both, but I'd be lying if I said I focus my practice on both. Really just locked in on next gen because there's a little bit more you can do with it with the master cylinders. And I was telling Eddie, I only led 68 laps in truck all season. That's my worst truck season I've ever had. But if you look at the next gen side, we were able to back up five wins from last season, do 1 better in the championship. A lot of lap slide over there, poles over there. So I'm not mad about it. I know there's a direct correlation to my ability to my effort put into trucks. You know what I mean? If you focus on one and you get the results that we did next gen, I'll take it. Just got to find time for both. Right here is the contact, and then he just loses it on the outside of us. Yeah, it's kind of like one of those ball don't lie situations.
Or you can't park there.
Yeah, but it is what it is. Feelings, even whether you're sitting in your room or on an actual track, feelings are going to be the way they are. And, it is what it is. That's really all I have to say. But it's a big testament to this team, man. All of Neon, you too, Hartney. You're kind of like, you're an honorary Neon guy. You basically are. You race with us so much.
Yeah.
But
it's just I'm not officially on the team. It's just easier to talk to y'all if we need to.
He's a Neon development driver. We're working on it.
Yeah. We need a lot more development there, bud.
Yeah, we're working on it. But no, we just really good seasons for a lot of guys, and there's guys I want to touch on that aren't on Neon that had really strong seasons. But yeah, from a competition standpoint, I thought it was great. I can't wait to recruit people. We're obviously accepting any and all competition that wants to join us. 1,000 to 3,000. We're looking for people. Yeah, well,
that are legit 1,000 to 3,000 or whatever. Yeah, none of that tanking stuff. That's garbo.
And while we're on it too, we were able to get a team of 4 to come join us. They're really excited to race. Cody Bullock. I don't have a team name yet, so I can't announce their team name. I'm waiting on Cody, but Cody Bullock. I think we have another set of brothers. We got Garrett Fox, James Fox. So that's what
Nice.
three
God.
sets of brothers now.
Oh God.
Yeah, how many Kyle Bushes and Kurt Bushes can we have in this league?
Apparently, all of them.
We got McCarty's, we got Merles, we got 4. We got the Gomes. Oh, we got the Gomes brothers. We got the we got the Merle brothers, the McCarty brothers, and now the Fox brothers. We have 5 sets of brothers in this league.
And then we had 2 guys with the same last name that weren't even related. Like,
yeah, the Zimmermans, the Step brothers.
Yeah.
No, that's nuts, man. 5 sets of brothers. That's crazy. Yeah, so when I say that SCSRA is a family, we are. Regardless of what people want to say, we literally are a family. But I don't know if you're going to watch this. If they post it in the Discord, might check it out. But welcome aboard, guys. We're still recruiting. Numbers are better for next gen. I think it's because the next gen is just a little enticing to drive right now. It's a little bit more drivability than the trucks. And that's not surprising to me. I don't know what you guys think. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, trucks have been the trucks for a while. The next gen's new-ish.
Yeah.
Now they threw in the new body styles for the Ford and the Toyota. So
yeah, Eddie was able to jump on that little surprise. We're gonna run it next week at the All-Star race, but I think I've been a neon yellow car since this league started, like season 1, and now we're switching from the yellow fellow to the silver fox to see what that does next season. But Eddie does a great job for your schemes. If you need any done, it's a sharp looking car there, that matte silver black. So we're excited to get that rolled out at Dega and then next season see what we can do. But yeah, it was a great race, man. I'm just a long run driver, man. Just steady, patient, hit your marks, and luckily came to us.
So coming off the final caution here, you got Gomes on the outside, who's not in it for a championship. The closest person is Eddie, right?
Yeah, 4th or 5th and 6th, Eddie and Fuller.
yeah,
And I was
Fuller
worried
for the
about
outside.
about Gomes too, because that's one guy I want to touch on. He arguably took the biggest jump this year from season 5 to season 6. And the way that my car was set up, I don't know about you guys. I could not attack the entry. Like short runs, I was shaking. I knew Ryan was quick. I also didn't know that Nick Fuller had fresh tires here. So if you watch, the black and purple car on the outside here, he's going to be flying.
I debated on taking tires and I didn't.
He got hung up behind Ryan just long enough, you'll see. But I think it was only 7 laps fresher too, and we barely had any green. I didn't think it was enough, but definitely a drastic difference.
Yeah, he takes off.
Ryan did not. He even told me, he's like, "You smoked me on that restart." And I'm like, "I was just trying to get all I could," and I couldn't go under that white line. I was too nervous to dump it. It's that diffuser bottom of this car does not sit good down there.
Yeah, one of those cautions at the end, man. Like they showed it. Hartney showed it when they first started playing this. I ate a turd coming through there. It was horrible.
Yeah, you can see Nick already flying.
I don't know how many times I practiced trying to go through this dogleg in this car. Did not work.
I couldn't do it, man. I wouldn't go lower than the white.
It's just peeling it down from right there that sketched me out. That lot, the weight of the tail end of it just going away.
Yeah, I saw them both slide on my mirror. It's little things like that where if they don't slide and Nick gets side by side right away here, he's probably getting to me before the end of this race. But that created a half a second. I think I come to the white here. I could be wrong. Not sure entirely. No, not yet. Yeah, but I've been a fan of these flat tracks. New Hampshire's one of my local tracks, quote. So I've turned a lot of laps there. We ran well in this race last season. We got the pole here last season and 13 cautions last season, a ton of pit strategies. It was definitely a different race, played out different than it did this season. But I always enjoy these tracks quite a bit.
Here's the white.
And he gets a ton. I couldn't put the car down there, man. I wasn't gonna risk it, and I knew how much he'd get on me.
Well, yeah, and one mistake there, and it's over. For something you haven't been able to do all race, like why even risk it?
Yeah. Then out here, out of 3, Eddie's like, "Go get him, Devin." I'm like, "There's still one more turn," in my head because I couldn't say anything, and he makes a hard charge here. But Nick raced clean all season, man. He's a really good driver. He's doesn't really slip up too much. He's fast everywhere. He raced me clean, which I appreciate. Yeah, I'm excited to get the next gen championship because Eddie smoked us last year. Like it was Eddie versus the field. We were racing at Vegas, and I think he might have been in Phoenix away from everyone else. He was so quick, but
Right.
yeah, just a completely different setup from what Eddie was running. Just different driving styles, man. Didn't know what way to go with it. I still wasn't too confident. I definitely didn't have the laps Eddie had, but hey, Brett, we just needed the long runs, and it happened to pay out. I didn't know going to the race we'd have that long run speed. It worked out that way.
Sorry, the Kings are on in the background.
What's that score?
We're not talking about it.
Let's check it real quick.
A lot to not enough.
we're talking about the SCSRA, not the Los Angeles Kings versus the Avalanche.
Oh, 2-0.
Avs are nice, man.
3-0.
Avs are real good.
Wow.
Eddie, we're not talking about this.
You'll know it's bad when you see a shoe go flying across Hartney into the TV, right across his camera.
Yay.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, I know we alluded to it a little bit, but some guys just had some really strong seasons, man. I kind of want to give them their flowers to say, I guess. Next gen, it's trucks. Yeah, so trucks. No, it is next gen. Sorry. So in next gen, yeah, Ryan Gomes. He's like I don't have his stats from last season, but I know we've talked about him before too. I think it was Homestead where he's really fast. You look and he only had 1 top 5, but then 11 top 10s. Just crazy consistency. Same with Joe. It's just I feel like in these next gen cars, I don't know about you, Eddie or Hartney, but I feel like we're all sort of taking little steps forward. And there's also Ryan's one of the guys that he will hang around after the race. He will practice with us. He does put in laps. So shout out to Ryan. Shout out to Joe. 11 and 12 top 10s respectively in next gen. It's really not bad at all. Trying to see who else here.
I think I had a record like 6 starts this season.
Yeah, proud of you, man. Proud of you. Shout out to Chucky too. Chucky, I don't know who his alliance is with. I don't know if he's aligned with. We didn't sign him to Neon, but his technical alliance to get that new rig. He was quick this week. He was quick last week.
The last 2 weeks, he's been on it.
Yeah.
I know he said he had internet issues, like they cut a line by his house, and then when he came back, he stopped having connection issues. His new rig I know Junior said it on air. He's like, I don't have a problem in the world racing around him because he's not blinking anymore. He's consistent. You kind of knew where he was going to be. So, I mean, whatever he did, man, good job, Chucky. Keep it up.
Yeah. No, he was quick. So there's a lot of storylines to watch going into next season. And we obviously have one more race, the All-Star race, which has a field of 15 people. And I don't know if we've ever discussed it, but to get into the All-Star race, you have to be a past champion or get a pole or win in either of the 2 series for that season. 15 people were able to do that. Myself, Eddie, D-Wright, Blaze, Jay Stinson, Devin Zimmerman, Michael Moultrie, Nick Fuller, Daniel Wiles, Brandon Zimmerman, Carlton, Ryan Gomes, Tyler, and then Max McCarty got in with his pole last week at Kansas and trucks, and Joe Wright, or in next gen, and Joe Wright got in last week with his pole at Kansas and trucks. Max was next gen. So last week, 2 guys just Hail Married their shot into the All-Star race. So it's 15 people locked in. The Open is going to be 2 15-lap stages at Talladega. That's where we're racing. And the winner from each of those stages gets locked in. So we're going to have a field of 17 for the All-Star race. I don't think that's half bad, man.
That was pretty good.
$100 on the line. $100.
Yep.
In it to
good
win
stuff.
So again, if you're not already in, you can qualify into the race. With the heat races prior to the actual All-Star race. So just keep that in mind. If you're not in it, you still can get in it. So we'll see who comes out on top on that.
Yeah, who knows?
That'll be fun.
I don't know
Is that being broadcasted?
Yeah, Noma's going to be broadcasting it Wednesday night.
Nice.
31st. I think I put the 30th in the post, but it's definitely the 31st.
You did, because Chucky's asking. So I see the All-Star announcement, but at the top it says Tuesday, and then down lower it says 131. So which one is it?
Yep, hold on. It's this said 131 the entire time. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
You did a dirty daily.
It says 131. No, it's Wednesday. It's gonna be Guy. It's gonna be Noma. Shout out to Guy. He did a really good job this season. Great energy in the last 40 laps of that next gen race. He's done a great job for us. We enjoy it. And same to Josh too. Another season where Josh has killed it. Both of them actively working to provide the best product they can. This season alone, ticker changes, PC changes, number changes for the broadcast, you name it. So they did a really good job. And Guy did a good job not interviewing any playoff guys to jinx them. So that was also probably a safe bet.
Right.
If he would have pulled me up,
those two guys are.
I would have been like, no, bring me back down. I don't want any of that. Nope.
Hit him with that reverse Uno card. Reverse.
Here.
Yeah, those guys have been great to have around and broadcast for us. So we're very appreciative of those guys and definitely recommend them.
Yeah. So that's a lot of the fun for us because I know most of us would do it if it wasn't, but being able to go back and watch or share it with your friends or family, it's pretty cool.
Yep. All right, so this season's over. Season 6, well, we got the All-Star race, but it's pretty much over.
Yeah.
So what's next in our lives? Schedule's done.
Schedule's done out.
Yep, 3 weeks now.
Facebook groups are a dog-eat-dog world for leagues right now. Everybody and their brother is putting up a league. So, I'm not saying we have to be used car salesmen, but, make connections, man. I talked to Cody. I got Cody in here, and he's like, I have a team of 4. And he's like, I'll get back to you. I'm like, I might not hear back from him. He's like, oh, we're ready to join. Then he got the Discord link, and they've been already posting his real-life cars, their paint schemes. He was asking me if he has to have the number 4 or if he can put it in the middle of the door. I'm like, you could put it on the rear quarter panel as long as you're here racing with us and having fun. Yeah, I mean, I think we're a good group to race with. I think the competition's at an all-time high. I think the field's super tight, man. It's tough to win these things. And next season, it's a more traditional schedule. There isn't really any curveballs. Obviously, I think our biggest curveball is the Rock, maybe, but it's not anything out of the ordinary. It's Richmond and Dover had a baby, love child.
Just takes a little bit of practice.
It does.
It's very loose.
Yeah, but it's funny going back to like the off season because there's still so much for us to do. A lot to go over. A lot of people have come to me with recommendations for maybe we can do this, maybe we can do that, and I've literally written every one of them down. So we have to circle back to those. We're going to have an admin meeting or multiple meetings probably. Just going over rules, recommendations, see what we can put into play, communicating with sponsors, recruiting off, preseason Thunder races. And it's funny because we once the season kicks off, that's our break. The off season isn't really our break. So
no, it's not.
And then by the end of the Daytona 500, I'm like, I want to get out of Daytona, man. I am over this shit. Like, can we get
every season? Every season, I gotta listen to it. I'm like, bro, this is such a nice place. Chill.
I know. I feel like an old head. I've turned into Kyle Larson. I don't like restrictor plate racing. I want to be able to control my own race, but it's a fun track, man. It's really important.
I mean, let me tell you, if it wasn't for Talladega, I would have never been in that truck championship race.
Oh no, would not. You're lucky we even have that in the playoffs for you.
Right. Thank you, Jesus. God bless America.
So we did get rid of Atlanta because we're not doing 3 restrictor plate races, keeping Daytona the one in the playoff. But
we did test Old Atlanta, and it's awful.
Yeah, we
absolutely
wanted it on the schedule. We can talk about that now. I don't know if you guys did. We did want it.
Yeah,
but it was just not going to work from what I heard. So
it was originally on the schedule, and Eddie and I, and actually, Moultrie. This goes back to, I think, a month and a half ago.
About that, yeah.
Yeah, we threw up a session for just testing on that track just to see what it was like, and after 5 laps, it's just undrivable. It's not, no matter what you do, it was worse than Phoenix at 135 degrees.
Yeah.
and temperatures were normal, and so
Was it Iowa bad?
I think if somebody would practiced, they'd had to put a lot of time in. I would say, it was borderline Iowa bad, but if somebody put enough practice in, they could probably do it. But like nobody practices in the league here, so like that's a no-go. Like
yeah,
that makes it tough.
As enticing as Bristol Dirt is, we have to like think of putting on the best product. You know what I mean? And it's like we want to do it. Sure, we want to, but
No, we don't.
why are we going to be
want to do
pacing for
dirt.
3 hours?
I want to do dirt.
No.
You shut up.
Season 15, it'll come back. So
hey, you said season 10 3 weeks ago.
15.
It got pushed back. The paperwork came in. It didn't work out. Season 15.
God.
We have some obligations to prior tracks.
Season 15 will be my act of God season.
Yeah, we're running Wild West in season 10, so we had to push Bristol Dirt back.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Running Wild, that'd be hilarious. I'm gonna
I'll go ahead and change that logo color to brown.
Yeah, like my pants after that. Right? But
so yeah, Old Atlanta was on the schedule. It did not make the satisfactory cut of what would be a good product. So Rockingham was pushed up. Was next on the list. It was gonna be the second or third week. And we also had to move the entire schedule around to put Rockingham on because it's not a practiceless track.
Well, yeah, I mean, in Atlanta was a mile and a half, so
right.
It's not too hard of a track in theory.
Right.
Well, so putting it at the first of the schedule was a good idea. And yeah, taking that out and mile and a half to a shorter track.
It's funny because that started with Phoenix in season 4. That was our first next gen race for realistically me. I think I'd run maybe
season 5.
3 car. Season 5, yeah. I think I've run maybe 2 Carb Cup races before our season started with the next gens because I'd lost my A license. So we get done speed weeks. I'm like, oh, I'm so excited. We go to Phoenix. I was able to get the pole. Lost the lead under pit stops, and my first time attacking the corner to try and pass someone, I wrecked Cheeseburger for the lead. I'm like, you know what?
Hey, damn cheese.
Then we had 13 cautions, and we made the move to put tracks like Auto Club Race 2. I thought that was a really strong idea because your car count's going to be huge. Hopefully, if you do your job recruiting, and then to do Michigan again this year, I think it's a smart move, man, because we can do Rockingham, but it would be a disservice to put it week 2 where we're pacing, and the newcomers are just sitting around there pacing, and they're like, what the hell is this league if they can't even turn laps? You know what I mean? Yep. So it's inevitable that we're going to lose people towards the end of the season. Summer starting up. I think we timed it right before the thick of summer, right around June. So I think it may be favorable for us. It's a nice little spring season we have coming up. Some cool tracks too. I mean, Indy. I think all 3 of us love Indy. And then, returning favorites like Richmond. I don't know how you can get rid of Richmond after a race like that. We're going back to the Glen for the road course week, which is probably going to be a strong product. Hasn't really let us down before, so.
I don't think Glen has ever let us down.
No.
You could push around shopping carts at the Glen, and I would still watch that. So it's God's road course. I don't care what anyone says.
No, it's Coda.
No. Yeah, because it's God's road course because I'm praying the whole time. Let this race be done, please. 80 X's between 2 races there. Yeah. Give me an F1 car. That's fine. That's a good time at Coda, the F1 car.
Any car.
Trucks?
Any car.
Trucks?
Bro, that BMW around the Glen's fun.
I believe it.
Oh, yeah, that also is. The next-gen cars are not bad around Coda.
I believe it because I feel like
they're more designed for road courses. Yeah.
It's just the S's. Like, it gives me chills thinking about trying to whip an Xfinity car through those first set of S's. It's like, no. Bro. No, thanks. No,
the Xfinity cars are trash around that track, but the next-gen cars are actually pretty good.
I believe that.
I'm also telling you.
Season, didn't we?
No, the last time we did Coda was one season. It was.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the Glen. Never mind.
Oh. I'm also telling you, next gen at Monza with no chicanes, best road course ever.
I'm not believing that.
You don't have to. I'm telling you, it's amazing.
What is that track that we used to do the fun runs at, where we had the big block mod? I can never remember it.
Lime Rock?
Well, Lime Rock. I would love to race at Lime Rock, man. I wonder how the next gens drive around Lime Rock.
Probably single file. Because the track ain't wide enough for
No.
probably.
There's no passing. There's no nothing.
That's fine.
X. You get an X every time you go through the S's.
So, we can also announce some things that probably aren't ever going to happen now. Maybe we were contemplating the iRacing. Not really, Eddie. I think Eddie rejected it from the start. But I was like, we have 3 off weeks. Let's run a 6-race SCSRX schedule on Tuesday, Wednesday. But I don't even know. Are we still going to get SRX with them folding in iRacing? Are they just going to be like, you know what? No, we're done making this. We're not gonna finish this.
I don't know, man. Like from what I heard, they were done scanning it and everything was good to go, and then just kind of hit them like that, and that happened. So
Tony's just like, no, I'm good. Actually, thanks.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if Junior can work his magic or something. I don't know.
Maybe that happened around the same time he took over the Pruitt's drive. So
yeah.
IROC
made the announcement. And they're like, all right, you win. You can have it. We don't want it.
Yeah.
But
that or they tore up too many cars last year from Paul Tracy.
Paul Tracy's a bum. It's for a while I thought it was going to be Brad's most realistic shot to win a race, but RFK's got something cooking. RFK's got something cooking this season, man.
How many seasons you've been saying that?
He hasn't won a race since April 2021. Talladega money line. It's a race that Logano flipped. Oh, Joey Logano flips. Brad wins the race. I mean, come on, man. Doesn't get much better than that. But I don't know. They're cooking. They're cooking. Watch out for them.
Yeah, I feel like you say that every week.
He might just win the 500.
No, I get sick to my stomach. I don't even get excited anymore. Like when I was a kid, I'm like, oh yeah, 500. Now I'm like, I'm gonna be sick. He's gonna be up front with 10 to go. Something's gonna happen. It happens every year, and it's like Cowboys in the playoffs. I get to my parents, and my mom's like, "You excited?" I'm like, I could throw up right now. So, I don't want to be here, but.
Well, maybe you should just, if you change your mentality a little bit and just expect them to lose, you'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been with RFK for 2 years. I'm pretty sure I'm there. Aren't you? Thanks.
No, I'm talking about the Cowboys, but because they're not going to go any further.
I've been a Cowboys fan for 28 years. I'm there, Hartney. Thanks. But what's cool about our schedule, too, is it's right during
nice transition, bud.
No, I wanted to say this. The 500's on the 18th of February, and we kick off our speed weeks on the 20th. So it's pretty cool because you're going to be done watching Daytona. You're like, man, I want to race some Daytona, and then we're going to go right into it with the Clash and duels that week. So that's pretty cool timing because everyone's going to be antsy and be like, man, I want to run some Daytona, but I don't want to run officials. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm going to run it.
Officials?
Yeah, I'm going to run the Daytona 500.
Oh, I'll do the 500, but if you think I'm doing the every 2 hour A-fix, you're crazy.
No, I'm going to do the special, the 500 mile race.
That's my 24 hours of Daytona. Is going into those.
I've never won one of those.
Officials.
One of the officials?
No, the 24 hours of Daytona. I've never won one.
Not either.
Me either.
I had 2 shots this season, but
you have a next gen championship though, which is pretty neat.
That's right. That's right. I got a truck championship too, so they can keep that 24-hour crap, bro.
Yeah. No,
Jesus Christ.
No, I'm excited for this season. I like getting all the rookies in. I'm trying to think of what else we're missing.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. I was talking about recruiting. How's that going so far? I know you said the 4 new guys for next gen. Do we got anybody new for trucks or anything?
No, it's really dog eat dog on Facebook. It's also, we timed it really bad with. You'd think it'd be good, but it's not really great with Christmas ending and a lot of people getting new to the service. We wouldn't take anyone that new, but it's just flooded right now, man. I mean, I think after Eddie added me, we're in like 5-6 groups, and there's just, I see like 3 or 4 or 5 recruiting posts like every day. So it's, it's, if someone's gonna spend their time doing it, like I said, you kind of have to use car salesman it. Kind of yes, no, but it's like, why should they race with us? You know what I mean? Why should they pick us over someone that's doing this or doing that? And that's when I tell them, I'm like, hey, my messengers, because we do it on Facebook. Traditional recruitment races just don't work anymore. It's impossible to get people from the race into it. But, I tell them, like, you can message me anytime. I was talking to Was it Cody? I'm so sorry. I think it was Cody. But I was talking to him like super late the other night. Yeah, Cody. But I just tell him like, hey, if you have any questions, like I know when we recruited 2 seasons ago, Brian Boyd, he's like, can I call you? I have questions. I'm like, yeah, you can absolutely call me. So it's just try to be transparent, open with them. And, I think we got a really strong core. Like I said, I mean, how many leagues have 5 sets of brothers? Like that's crazy.
Brian's still on vacation, ain't he?
He is. Yeah,
I think he went sailing through the Bermuda Triangle. Ain't nobody heard from him.
He's free to come
Hope
back.
he's okay.
It was only a 1-week vacation. He's free to come
I hope
back.
he's okay.
He got stuck at Dover, I guess. But
Probably a problem in customs or something.
My question for you guys, I don't know if you've noticed or can even make an assumption, but who do you think takes that leap next season? Like, who do you think gets their first win, or is there going to be, because we saw kind of the same culprits week in and week out that are like, if you think in real life, like William Byron Larson, like those guys are just going to be a threat every week. Who do you think adds their name to the mix next season? Because I have a couple of guys in mind, but I don't know if you guys are thinking anyone. I can go first. I think, like I said, I think Ryan's going to take a big leap because I know he practices a lot. I think Ryan. I feel like you could argue Junior too. I mean, I think he did a better job, lack of a better term, keeping the car straight. You know what I mean? Like, I think he learned a lot. He really dialed it in. That Richmond race, he was running P4. It's just the competition's really tough. And, Ryan got hot at the end of the season. He made up, he was in the playoffs. And those top 10s, those almost top 10s turn into top 10s. And then those top 10s turn into top 5s, and top 5s turn into wins. So it's just a matter of time.
Yeah. I've told Hartney, I've told him, I think he could get it done.
Yeah.
He's shown some speed. He just needs to work on the spatial awareness and take care of his car. I've told him that. So I think he could probably get it done. Joe, I think he could probably add his name to the mix a little more. He runs pretty decent.
He was up there with next gen top 10s. Joe's one of those guys where he's good. He's going to give you a quality ride or every week. But there's some tracks where they come out there. I'm like, Joe, what is it with this place? You know what I mean? Like Auto Club. Doesn't matter what we run. He's going to be up front at Auto Club. And then I think it was Nashville Super Speedway 2. He was flying. And there's just
Michigan. He's always fast at Michigan too.
Yeah. So there's and that's where it starts. I mean, there's some, like, I'm sure Eddie, he cannot wait till we get back to Texas. Why was Eddie that fast at Texas last time? I don't even think he knew. But he got out there. It's just like Vegas too. Vegas, you practice. And I'm sure you practice for Texas. But it's just some tracks you get out there, man. And it's just like, once it clicks for one, then you're like, wait, if I do that here, maybe I can do that here. And I've done that at different tracks that you wouldn't think it would correlate, but it just seems to work out that way. But I agree with Eddie, man. Like I've self-spun in the truck race. You know what I mean? It's hard to put a full race together. And Hartney, you're practicing with us, so obviously we're seeing the speed, and it is a fine line. That's why I like the next gen so much, because it is a challenge. It's not the trucks where you can go out there and you're just driving the truck like this. Next gen, you're turning right to go straight on exit. It's tough to put together, but I know Hartney has Indianapolis circled on the schedule, so look at him grinning.
Why?
He's like,
why would
how
I?
many laps you had led, like, what, 28 laps there last season?
Yeah, 28 out of 110.
A lot of laps.
Oh, poor thing.
Yeah, it was the first 28 because I did an hour's worth of practice and I understood the track, and then you guys figured it out and it was done.
Well, figure it out further,
Done
bro.
skis.
Figure it out more than us.
That's the biggest thing, man, dude. I know I preach this, but it's just like learning that first stage, because our next gen races are pretty damn long, man. So if you can just, like, if you're gonna blow your stuff up, your right front, blow it up in the first stage, because you're like, okay, I can't go that far, but if I take it down a little bit, that's the only thing. You just gotta try and be a sponge.
It's
the trucks I'm out on. I put that 3-time sticker on my truck, and that was karma. That whole truck is getting blown to shreds. I don't know. We're gonna come out with Hartney's, like, graffiti color truck next season or something, because that is not coming back. That scheme is retired. That's going to the Dale Jr. graveyard.
So
I don't even think the Dale Jr. graveyard would want it.
I don't know. It was bad, man. So
you're gonna switch it up and, like, even go to a Chevy instead of a Ford?
No, I'm a Ford guy, just because I like the Mustang so much. I grew up loving Mustangs. I don't think.
Do you like running people over?
Not anymore. You did it first. I just kind of, like, in my head, it's like why I don't run a real life sponsor. Like, I wouldn't go on and put Kleenex on my car. It just doesn't feel real to me. Like I wouldn't be able to race a Mustang and then race the Silverado in trucks. I just couldn't get myself to do that. But yeah, I think Kaylee's gonna help me design the truck because she's like, let me pick the colors. I'm like, all right, I'll let you do it. She watches every week in real life too.
Bro, I hope she picks like neon pink.
Hey, neon racing, man. I can work with neon
Dude,
pink.
I hope it's like pink and powder blue.
Powder blue is close to Dev Sports Card. See, you're giving me great ideas. I can let her know.
Yeah.
I can let her know. But
Need some flyers on there.
Hey, speaking of Joe, he's not on the signups for next gen or trucks. Is he racing next season?
he said he was, yeah, because I asked him about it because I saw he wasn't signed up. He was like, yeah, it's just he travels so much for work.
Yeah,
Like,
he does.
We'll be talking about the race, and then that day he's like, oh, I'm going out to Washington. And it's like, oh, okay. So
Yeah,
I'm like,
I know he does that.
It's like, I'll at least sign. I'm like, at least sign up as part time. And he's like, no, I take my stuff with me. I'm like,
Eddie straps his computer to his back when he goes up to New York.
yeah.
No, that's when I bought it. I pile all that stuff, dude. I thought I was gonna have to take my passenger seat out of my 350Z, to put my play seat and everything in there, to take it to Joe's and then go to New York with it.
Yeah, he brings his play seat, so when his car breaks down, he can run a hot spot and play on the side of the road.
That's right, bro. Wait for that tow truck.
Yeah.
Put some American Sim on or something, and just grab your own.
The Glen, man, I'm like, oh, it's cool. I'm gonna get to meet Eddie and all them, and then it's like 8 a.m. or whatever it was, and then Eddie sends a picture of him broken down on the side of the road. I'm like, bro,
I was like,
we've been
2
talking
hours
about
into
this
the
trip
trip,
since
yeah.
April, and you're not even gonna be there. You're like, I'm working on it.
Bro, I had to change an alternator on a 03 Nissan 350Z in the middle of a parking lot at an O'Reilly's parking lot. Like, that was no jack, no nothing, bro. Like, that was when I got to Joe's house, I looked like the abominable grease monkey, bro.
Did either one of you ever watch that show Roadkill?
I don't think so.
Oh, David Freiberger and I can't remember the other guy's name. They actually did. They bought a cheap car. It was like $500, $500 Charger or whatever, and the motor blew on their drive, conveniently close to an AutoZone. So they parked the car in an AutoZone parking lot, rented a truck, went and got another engine, and then did an engine swap in an AutoZone parking lot.
It's crazy. That'll be Eddie going to the Glen next year.
Bro, I'm telling you. Yeah, dude, it was a mess, man. I didn't think I was gonna make it. Like, I was pretty bummed, bro. I was like, dang. And then, yeah, it was crazy.
I'm hoping
to see Ty Gibbs get dumped right in front of us on the Green White Champion.
Yeah, boy.
I'm hoping for Bristol this year. I wanted to go last year, didn't work out, but I'm hoping to get to Bristol this year.
It didn't work out, and we kind of left Eddie hanging. I feel bad, but
You
in
did.
retrospect, yeah, I didn't have the money for it. Just super transparent, but I felt bad. But then that package is so poor, man. That package is so bad there still, where it's like I was relieved in like a shitty way, I guess, because like obviously I wanted to hang out with Eddie. It just to fly out of New York, we have an airport like an hour away in Vermont, an airport like 2.5 hours down in the capital, then an airport in Plattsburgh in town, and someplace like I can fly to DC for like I think it's $171, which isn't bad. But then I looked into there's a card show in Dallas. To go to Dallas, $480, and then Eddie, I want to say it was like $460 or something crazy. So it's like some places they have it, some they don't. I even look in Montreal because Montreal is only like a 45-minute drive. So it's like some places work, some don't. But
Yeah, it's crazy how they price some of that stuff, man.
yeah,
Crazy.
it's a pain, man. It's a pain. And the
Well, I was going to drive, so
it's not a bad drive for you. What would that be?
12 and a half days. And
well, to get to out of Texas going east would take me at least 7 hours.
That's like New York. I can go south for 6.5 hours, and I'm still in New York.
Yeah, it
I
would
can go
take
west for 8 and I'm still in Tennessee. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, from here to El Paso is 10.5 hours.
Wow.
Georgetown to Bristol, Tennessee.
One thing I do know is I'm 90% sure I'm going to New Hampshire this year, because that Watkins Glen in New York 6 hours. New Hampshire is like 3.5. So it's like
It is a 16-hour drive.
that's disgusting. That's awful.
Yeah,
I'd
buddy.
still be flying, dude. No shot.
I've done it to upstate before.
Makes me want to throw up down my chest.
It was where did I go?
I remember when I was a
where
kid,
went.
back in 2009, we drove down to, we stayed in Disney for a week and then Daytona for a week, did all the NASCAR stuff. But I went with my cousins and my aunt and uncle, and they drove. And then later down the road, I flew down there, and I'm like, bro, you're never catching me driving that again. That is just 24-hour drive compared to a 4-hour flight. It's just a no-brainer to me.
Yeah.
I don't remember where I went in New York, but it was 31 hours straight.
Like, you're crazy. You're a madman.
I know it's like
So-
12, something like 12, I think, from where I'm at to the Glen, I think.
So here's what. So it's a 16-hour drive, right? 1,122 miles. But a flight from Austin to Bristol is $800.
That's bad.
Why
Never
in the
mind.
hell would I not drive?
Yeah, what's the deal with flight prices? Am I right? I just don't get it. Some of them are like I was saying, Washington D.C. There's a card show 3 times a year, and I split it with a friend, and we fly down there, and our hotel is less than $300 for a Thursday to Sunday. So it's like every time I buy that, I'm like, oh, flying's so cheap, and then I'll look into like Tennessee to go see Eddie. I'm like, what the hell is this? You know what I mean? Like, I got to go to Tennessee for a wedding this year too, and those are not cheap either. We've been watching, me and my friends, we're staying in an Airbnb. We've been watching the flights for like 4 weeks now. We're like, oh, it's gonna go down. I'm gonna wait next week. We're still waiting for it to go down. At some point, it's like, got to pull the trigger sometime.
So yeah, $822 flight or $156 in gas.
And 16 hours of misery.
I don't mind driving.
Yeah.
My thing is,
How many miles is that? How many oil changes is that on the way here?
In my Ford,
thing is-
7.
7 oil changes?
And a Ford, you never know, man. I'm just gonna have to
7
bring this
oil
stuff with
changes
me.
and a fasty, one fasty.
Right.
No, my
if
thing
he's
is,
driving a
like-
Ford, he might need more than one fasting.
My thing driving like that is I have to be driving. I cannot be a passenger princess. Like, I just need to be in control.
Nope.
It eases my mind.
Yeah.
And
Dude, it's so tough riding with Joe because I'm the same way, bro. Like, and my dad used to be a truck driver, and he was the only one that I could, like, legit fall asleep in the car with
yeah,
and feel
it's like-
comfortable.
and it's like, for no reason, I'm just not comfortable with anyone driving. And it's
Yeah.
like, what was I gonna say? I fall asleep. I don't fall asleep, but I get super tired. Like, I could, like, when I went to Boston a couple weekends ago, last show when I wasn't here, we were leaving at 8 a.m, and I went to bed at 8 o'clock the night before because I'm like, I'm gonna get fully rested, and if I get fully rested, I'm still like falling asleep halfway through the 4-hour drive. I'm like, what's I got a Red Bull in me, and I'm still falling asleep. It's, I don't know.
You drank it, right? You drank the Red Bull.
Yeah, I just like, I laid on my back
Being clear.
and I
being
put my
clear.
legs up, and I just, it goes
Chugged
right to
it.
your bloodstream.
Gotcha. The butt
I-
chug.
I Steve-O'd it.
They did that over there in Knoxville.
Yeah.
The butt chug. Yeah.
Yeah, when I drove to upstate, it was just I put my tablet, or I mounted my tablet like in the middle of my car. I just watched movies the whole way.
That's
Oh my.
Yeah.
I mean,
Phil Hartney kills a family of 4, and you hear Toy Story 3 coming from his Explorer, whatever it is.
I was in a Prius at the time.
Oh God,
Man, that thing was great. It only cost me $90 to get up there.
that's crazy.
That's great. Yeah.
I will say the gas near us is down the lowest it's been in
They're
forever.
still losing.
It's down to 292 over where I am. That's-
Eddie,
Yeah. They're still losing.
Avs are nice though, man. Avs are damn good.
shut your mouth, Devin.
Don't let Josh know you're watching this. Josh is an Avs fan.
I know he is.
Yeah, that's what I told her.
I'm sure he's posting about her watching it.
Yeah.
God.
But
I don't know. I think it's his wife's birthday, so if he is watching this or anything, so happy birthday to his wife.
happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Beth. So next season we're still going to keep up with the broadcasting with intensity and I know at least Guy, right? Well,
As far as I know, I believe
that's
so.
kind of a conversation we're still working on.
Yeah, there's so much to go over. We're adding rules, revising the rule book.
Yep.
We don't want there to be any. We want it to be black and gray, like yes or no. Like if you ask us,
Black
be
and
like
gray, black and white.
black and
No
gray,
gray
black and white.
areas.
Sorry, speaking of black and gray, Morris Customs with a banger season 7 paint scheme. No, we want
I like
it to
that
be,
intro. That was good.
we want it to be clear cut. And I don't think our rules are bad, but I think there's room for improvement everywhere. That's what I was saying with Eddie is looking through it. There's 11 pages, but there's still I'm like thinking of this, thinking of that, and it's just good information to have. So
Yep. And
because we don't have our race control races with us, and there hasn't been any serious issues from it. So if our race control can be on track, having a good time with us instead of sitting and watching us, then we're going to absolutely continue to go forward with that.
Yeah.
And we don't really get any complaints from it. Because even after the race, even if someone accidentally causes a wreck and accidentally is like the league owner, he still accidentally gets penalized 35 points. So it's like we're super consistent with things. It's not like stuff is not going to
definitely wasn't an accident. You deserve that penalty.
But yeah, like.
Do you want me to pull up the replay?
Yeah. So I actually have to go to bed. That's crazy.
Next thing you know, Dave's like, "Who's me?"
No, I'm excited for Talladega, man, because there's literally no stress.
Yeah.
And we can really just focus on the off season. And I don't know if we want to do like a team owner meeting. I've been throwing out stuff like that. Maybe we try and get all the team owners together. One big thing I'd like to push if anyone watches this is to free up or just bring in the free agents, man. Like if you're a team of 4, just bring in that 5th. Unless you really don't want to. Obviously, it's like if you have a clique, not a clique, but like your core group, you don't have to. But I think it'd be cool if we have full teams competing. I know that I've popped in other Discords to, I'm going to run this every once in a while. And they're just always saying, hey, join us. So I think it'd be cool. That's one of my goals for season 7 is I'd like teams
no
to be
free agents.
Yeah.
We need Merle to draft Chucky.
I'm going to go be the only free agent.
Wow. Breaking news. Neon's losing a 2-time champion. That's crazy.
Just,
Realistically, though, I was thinking about it too, is I think you do need teammates to be able to win races in this league right now.
Oh, yeah.
And it's definitely.
And that goes beyond teammates, bro. That goes back to the whole respect thing. And
yeah.
Because, if you're clearly faster than somebody, like usually if you're clearly faster than me, I'm letting you go. Unless you've raced me like a dillweed before, I'm usually 9 times out of 10, I'm letting you go. And yeah.
But like back to Talladega and Daytona, it's only 2 races a year, but I don't think you're going to win one of those races without a teammate unless it's free agents that can get together at the right place, right time. But the next gens too, man, is the arrow is incredible. I mean, I was chasing down Michael and I got side by side with Provi. He didn't mean to, but being side by side for one lap with a lapper cost me 7/10. So it's teammates go a long way, man.
I mean, look what we did at Talladega and Neon. We short pit everybody, and the 5 of us came out on the track at the same time and just freight trained the whole field.
Yeah.
We stuck together in a line, bumper to bumper for, I think it was 10 laps?
Yeah.
And probably closed, a 10-second gap?
Yeah.
It was
realistically,
crazy.
like, even our practices, it's like, yeah, we may be doing in hours, but technically we're getting 3 hours of knowledge from 3 people being in there. Because, if I'm testing this line, Artie's testing this line, I don't have to spend 25, 30 minutes testing the line that Hardy just ran. He ran the line. He got the tire information. He got, you know what I mean? So I think that it doesn't matter what level they are skill-wise. 3 is better than 2, 4 is better than 3, and 5 is better than 4. You know what I mean? It just, I think it goes a long way. And if I'm just speaking for us 3, because I know D and Joe, they have a lot with work. But the laps we put in since Eddie got his PC back at Homestead, man, like I feel like we're absolutely cooking compared to what we probably were going to be if we went into those races without it. I'm definitely ranting now, but that's my biggest thing is I'd love to see full teams. I love getting teams that are guys that reach out to me and like, hey, we got 4, we got 5. I'm like, bring them on in, bring them on in. You know what I mean? But I'm excited to get into the off season. I'm excited to sit down and really, tighten up loose ends, go over the rule book. I've gone back and forth, maybe doing like
They're still
a preseason meeting, maybe not with team owners, but even the drivers if they want to pop in. But if we get 7 people to do that, then it's a waste. So that's a 15-point penalty.
That's
I'm all right
right.
with it.
We're letting them things fly around here, by golly.
This channel's not made for
That's
kids. I'm good with that.
unsportsmanlike.
EOL for the
That's
All-Star race.
unsportsmanlike.
Fine. Well, if I get in, I'm gonna be EOL anyways.
Hey,
speaking of which, for the rule book, before the season starts, there will be a I guess meeting of anybody that's willing or wanting to join and go over the rule book for any changes. If you have any questions, I will be hosting a session or 2 or 3, however many it takes.
Are you doing a read along with these guys? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, I will read every line that I have to make sure that everyone's on the same page. There will never be the horns going off, so they just scored again. God.
Yeah, they suck.
I think it would be cool if we had designated team captains.
Yeah, for sure.
Bro,
team owners and like bring them in for the meeting.
We
don't have to go through the whole rule book. Like if there's 11 pages in the rule book, I'm not going through 11 pages. I'll take out what we revised or added and be like, hey, tell this to your guys. Everything else is the same. You know what I mean?
Nah, I think if Hartney wants to do it and have a whole classroom there, then
let me take it, Devin.
Yeah, that just tightens up the whole. Well, my team owner didn't say nothing to me.
Yep. Nope. We're not doing that.
You had the same chance to sit down during Hartney's read along hour as everybody else. That's not an excuse.
Hartney's reading Rainbow.
Yep.
Yes. We'll get him a graphic for that.
Better than watching the Kings lose again.
Oof.
I didn't say it.
All right, guys. Anything else for tonight?
No, man.
Kings are losing.
I don't know how much we're going to do during the off season. Podcast wise, I don't know how much there is to discuss. Maybe come back, start Speed Weeks with a banger pod. Maybe get some guests on. Maybe we do that. Maybe we take some postseason weeks, a week off or so, and maybe schedule some guests to come on.
That's what I was actually thinking about doing. The same thing, reaching out to some of the veterans, see if they want to come out, say a little bit about themselves, what it's been like in the SCSRA. For probably everyone except for Junior, because I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think I gotta find one of those bleep buttons. So. I need one of those little beeps whenever he comes on.
For his episode, we're gonna just have to have that as a like a pre-recorded show, so that I can go back and edit the bleeps that I'm gonna need to put in there.
Yeah, it's a button box that you just keep high-fiving. Every button is set for the bleep.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought about that. A couple of guys that get in during the off season if they have some time. I know that I've tried to get Nick in a few times after he won a race, and just Friday nights didn't work for him. He was working. So
I'd love to bring in maybe if he's a team owner, bring in that new Cody. Get what are his expectations? Like what is like, hey, this is a really strong season for us, and then you know what I mean? Like they would do the same thing in real life. Why not bring them in, interview the rookies, and see what their background is? I know one of the guys, he races in real life. I forget what he races, but
looks like Legends.
Yeah, so I think it'd be cool to bring him in and say, what are you guys shooting for this season? You know what I mean? Like because I think one of them's at like 2,600 I rating, and then a couple of them are around 11, 13. So it's a wide range. So I think it'd be cool to get him on if we could coordinate that for a show, maybe.
Yeah. We got some ideas. Yeah. We'll get them ironed out, get them taken care of.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's going to be it for us tonight. Thanks for joining us. For anybody that was out there, we do appreciate it. Just keep in mind, we are currently recruiting. You can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/SCSRA, I believe. Like, subscribe, do all the fun things. That's it for tonight, y'all. Have a good one.
Kings lose.
See ya.